I'm a little sorry that both projects that I decided to do right now are both slow stitching projects. That means the videos of them are not coming out super fast, even though I'm editing while I work on them. But the nature of these projects is that they're not done fast. It is quite fitting for my situation this month, but it is unfortunate that because of it, I won't be able to post a video even in 2 weeks' time or 3 weeks' time, because they're nowhere near done. Yeah, maybe the next project I'll go back to sewing a dress for Singira. But yeah, I might not finish this this time. We'll see how next month, because I'm trying to reduce my dancing time next month so that I don't burn myself out, because that's what happened this month. I kind of burned myself out. But next month is also a busy month for work, so I might just burn myself out. To be honest, there was another thing here before what this is. It said, so I guess I want more pattern tops. And I even laid out the pattern top project that I did so long ago that broke me. No, not really, but you can see me fizzle out because it wasn't going the way I wanted. In fact, I keep re-editing the blouses, and this one's very unfortunately not where I want it to be, but I can't edit it anymore. The first one is the one that I really want to work, but it is too small and I have no extra fabric to edit that at all. And yeah, the only one that's successful is the one that I least needed, but it's the one that is now in my wardrobe that is the most worn because it is the most wearable. Yeah, but okay. What it says now is that I want to work on wings because I had that idea towards the end of that video, the pink dress video. Then very inspired, I bought a lot of fabrics to try and make it work. So mistakes of past decisions is that I bought shirts online, and when I received it, it's freaking polyester. And I hated it. So one of them, yeah, it's just like I can't even wear them. Sometimes I buy clothes just to edit them. I can't even wear this one. So what is best for is, I guess, to cut up for patterns. I cut up for pattern. This is a collar pattern. Yeah. So I cut it up so I can make a nice accurate collar, hopefully. So I have iron interfacing to the slippery rayon, and then I have what is that, tacked down, what's that called, not flatline, just flat laid the piece of mesh embroidery over it. So I've done so much, and then I've cut enough to fold it so that I can accurately draw the pattern on it and then sew along the lines kind of thing. So I'm gonna start on that. I was so motivated by the wing idea that I even bought a lot of fabrics for it. I'll show you later. I bought so much because I couldn't tell. I mean, I need to see it physically combined to see if I actually like it. I couldn't tell just online, so I bought so much. Hopefully it's gonna be used in other things. I have so many pink stuff now. I just don't wear pink. Bad decisions, but decisions I've made. Okay, step 1, trace the pattern. Step 2, sew it. I'm not gonna sew this line, but everything else I'll sew. Then I can flip. I can cut off the excess and flip things inside out. Yeah, you're supposed to leave some seam allowance so you can fold it in at the end of the day. But I'm not gonna do that until I finish the wings, so I can attach the wings on, because that was the whole point of making this. So I finished the collar. I don't know absolutely if it's sitting right or wrong. and if I put a wing behind, it will choke me or not. But I've done the collar. It's kind of cute. Yeah, without the buttons, because I think I want to sew on the wings before I do finishings. Wings are cute. This color is kind of cute. It is kind of cute. That's the dress it's supposed to pair with. Yes, yes. Matching. I also want to show off all the detachable collars I've done in the past because I like them. They're so nice. It's time. So I've just pinned some fabrics that I've got for it. So the main body of the wing I got this time is, instead of pink, I got this white with shimmer kind of wing. So I was thinking if I should layer that glittery pink mesh that I didn't use in the dress in the end. So I have that fabric if I want to use it, or if I just want it more towards white. The other thing is that, so the initial idea of the wing, I did this thing that I didn't like about is that I drew all these lines for dragonfly scales, which end up hating. I hate it, but I kind of want that detail in wings. So I thought, instead of sewing it myself or drawing it myself when I don't have the skills, I can buy overlays to do that. So I think initially I bought this, and I also bought it in pink, thinking that these lines could do something. And I liked it until I got this one arrived, and that looks way more dragonfly-y, right? So I'm leaning towards that a lot more. I got this in both brown and pink, and I do like how this looks against the pink. And I kind of do, I think this would be ideal if it was darker. If the lines were like bronzy or black. Maybe not black. Silver, I think silver's too cool. But yeah, so essentially I think I'm leaning towards this. Yeah. And then I'll continue doing the beaded outline like I did here. Is what I think I would do. Yeah, but instead of doing this, I think I want to do another method of sewing it on. Yeah, I'll think about it. It's in my brainchild, but today I just fixed up the collar, and I feel like that satisfied my itch for touching on this project right now. Yeah, I still need to draw a wing shape, which is probably not going to be this long and impractical. Yeah, it's probably going to be half the length of this wing. Yeah, and I kind of want to make sure that this wing doesn't drape or ripple, and it kind of just has a wing shape is what I'm going to aim for here. So not long, has some kind of wing shape, and using more overlays than sewing it myself is my intention. Yeah. Hey. Oh, you know what? I did buy that pink gold mesh in brown as well. Yeah, I think that's what I was looking for, maybe. It will go with the brown beads, means I can recycle these beads. Yeah, totally. Cut them all out and redo them. I still have extras, but if I run out, I can cut it out. This is my intention, but that sounds terrible, but that sounds doable too. In the end, it would be more accurate if I actually put the dress on the mannequin and drape it on after that. But I'm intending to wear the dress on Thursday, so I don't want to put it on the mannequin to take it off and then to put it back on again. So I can wait. Yeah. So it's a public holiday and I finally have the time and brain power to work on this. So I finally sketched the little wings. If you are on Pinterest, you might know the wing that I copied. I'm really trying my best to do a pattern that I like, because the previous one is also this wing, I think, but I elongated it and it was really, really long. So this time I'm just gonna make a very modest short wing. It's still gonna be a drapey wing because I think I like that. Old wing, new wing. A lot shorter, and I hopefully a lot more realistic. So all these black lines are going to be beads, just like this, but I'm gonna have a layer, remember the layer of mesh. Yeah. Then I do not know if I'm gonna add all these back on or not, but they're glued on, so I can maybe just plug them off. I will not add the beads, these random beads. I'll just add the brown stuff. Yes, simpler the better, hopefully. Okay, I've taped the wing pattern, and then I'm going to trace it onto the fabric with permanent marker again. This is what I did the last time, only the difference is that I have less lines to trace. And this time I actually taped it down, so hopefully it goes well. I was only gonna start recording when I start doing the second wing because I'm just trying to figure out what I'm gonna do on this wing. But I just cut out my first piece. And and I'm too excited, so I want to show. I mean, wing! Just half the wing. That's the small wing, and then I have a bigger wing. Yeah. But the wings are so cool. It doesn't look as good at the back. I mean, close up. It doesn't look as good close up. But it looks so shiny from the front. That's so cool. Yeah, this is the first wing that's I just want to finish this one before I go to sleep. Yeah, that's all. Okay, I finally finished one side of the wing. Yeah, I don't know if I'll start the other side today, but if I start it the next clip, you're just gonna see the progress of me doing the other wing. But it's done. One side is done. So let's start off by layering the wing fabric. So it consists of this shimmery fabric, one layer of netty fabric, netty fabric, and then another layer of this shimmery fabric. So the last layer that I put on has the wings traced from my template. I just need to make sure that the one that's facing up is mirrored from the first wing that I've made. So I don't make two of the same side of the wings, so I get two mirrored images of wings. Then you kind of base everything together. I've cut a big rectangle and there's a lot of wasted materials, but I just roughly base them. It's gonna shift around within this basting anyway, but at least it's not gonna move drastically on you, so it'll be easier to sew all the beads on before you cut the actual shape out. I don't know if it's easy to see here, but I sew 2 beads by 2 beads. So I put 2 beads into the thread and then I stitch it down and then I come back up 1 bead before the 2 beads I stitched down. So 3 beads. Yeah. And then after that, I would thread my needle through the 3 beads. So it comes back down to the front, and then I can continue to add 2 more beads. And then I just slowly add 2 by 2 until I finished the lines that I've drawn. I'm sure there's an easier way to do this. Like maybe there's like frames that you can use to specifically stretch out the fabric so they're nice and taut when you stitch everything on. But I don't have those, and this still works. So, you know, do what you can. Just do it. It'll turn out great. If it doesn't, make another one eventually, I guess. Like how I'm doing it now. I remember this was the part where I was still very proud of my first wing. When I did all these lines, they still looked really good. It was when I added everything else that I hated the wings. Yeah. Just keep going. So if you remember during May last year when I did a project, I also came home with a lot of flowers. And this is this year's flowers. Yeah, I was so tired because work non-stop, so I think I've been just staring at the flowers for the night and also tomorrow. Okay, I finally finished sewing the details on the wings. Yeah, so next step is to cut the wings out. Can you see the line that was drawn with permanent marker? Yeah, cut along those lines, and then I'm adding what's this? Free check. I'm sure it's free check. I don't know where does it say. Oh, I don't know. Free check. I'm adding free check to the edges. Alternatively, if you want to do it better, like more solidly, I think you put a heat to it. So, but that sounds dangerous, and I'm home alone, so let's not do something like that. So free check it is. So I'm just gonna carefully cut edge by edge because I don't want to cut all the edge and then have them fray like this. So I'm just gonna cut one edge, free check the edge, cut one edge, free check the edge, and slowly cut out the pieces. Making we can see. What I do that you probably don't need to do is that I also pin them down. It's just that it gets sticky. Kind of want them to stick together. Okay. Danger. So I've got some wires, really thin wires. I thought about using fishing line, but I wasn't sure. So I bought fishing line and I bought wires. The wires came first and I was impatient, so wires it is. So what you're gonna do is that you're just gonna bead the wires. Yeah, just gonna put beads on the wire. Yeah. So what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna cut a piece of wire that's way longer because just in case something went wrong, I don't want it to be too short. And I only have 4 short wings, so it's not like I'm gonna run out of it. And then I am putting this thing on the edge. In fact, I realized that it doesn't really matter if I use this or not. So if you don't have this, just bead a normal bead at the end. I'll tell you what to do. But because I tried to use this and it didn't work exactly the way I wanted. This is a crimping bead. So you put it at the end and you crimp it it's supposed to not let stop the bead from coming out, but this freaking crimper can also still shift sometimes. Oh, not this time, but sometimes it can still shift. So I actually just bend my wire over bend my wire over. So now it completely can't go. But which means that you can actually just use a normal bead and you don't have to use a crimper. You know, just do the same thing. Yeah. So in the end, this was unnecessary, but I have this, so I'm gonna use it. Yeah. And all you do now is to string beads onto the wire. Yeah. Like this. Okay, I string the bead, a bit of it, enough to start sewing. So what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna make a blanket stitch on this. So blanket stitch starts from the left of me. So I'm gonna put it on the left. Then I take the edge. I take the edge and I put it on the edge. Yes. And then clip it in, I guess. Oh, I've done it once. I don't really know how to explain it. So now I make a blanket stitch over the sandwiched material and the bead. And then my distance width apart is actually each bead. So I secure in between each bead, because I feel like that looks the nicest. If I skip a few beads, it doesn't look as nice. So that's what I'm gonna do. A blanket stitch. So put the needle from the back to the front. And then I pull it through until there's a little loop. And put my needle through the loop. And pull tight. Yeah. And then go on to the next one. Okay. Yeah, what a blanket stitch does is that it actually puts a line across the edge of the fabric. It's usually used on non-frayable fabrics and thicker, like felt. But I'm doing it on this. That's why I needed to free check it, because I don't think this is gonna protect the edge as much as it should. So yeah. And some more, I'm also using normal sewing thread. So it's not gonna protect the edge at all, I think. Yeah. Yeah, just do this and couch each bead down. And slowly work your way through the whole edge of the wing, except for the top edge. And then, oh shit, don't tangle. Yeah, okay. Then you get an edge like this, and it looks so clean. Yeah, it looks like this from the back. That's a blanket stitch. Yeah, this was something that I didn't know when I made my first wing, and then I came up with it on my second wing. I didn't exactly, I mean, I won't say that I'm the first one who does this, but I've actually not researched how to do it, and I came up with this idea, and it works pretty well. So I don't know what other people do, but this is what I did, and it looked good. Yeah. I almost forgot to film this, but I'm just attaching the finished wing to the collar piece, and I'm gonna stitch down the collar piece. And then I'm gonna sew the buttonhole and sew the button. Yeah. So it's almost done! Okay, you see it first. I can see it. It's on my back. Put it with my one very core looking clothes. I mean, not the bottoms, but the top. Yeah, I've got wings now. Yeah, and then on a day that I can show it off, I'll show it off. And the reveal.